Yesterday, we told you about the new CDC guidelines for people who want to get tested after possible exposure to COVID. Why am I doing that?
I was helping you out.
It was like a papyrus scroll. Today, we're taking a deep dive into these changes with our own medical expert in Sky Blue, Dr. Kohli. Welcome, doctor. How are you this morning?
I'm lovely. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Doctor, with all your medical experience, what's a papaya scroll?
Papyrus. It's a type of paper.
Sorry, let's get to the important stuff.
So a quick recap. The new guidelines recommend a test only if you have symptoms previously. The CDC recommended anyone with a close contact with infected people should get tested. Now, the changes are not sitting well with Fauci, who was in surgery when the changes were announced. So, Dr. Kohli, what do you make of these new guidelines? Have at it. The floor is yours.
So in my opinion, this seems like a huge mistake and a huge step backwards. It really feels like we're making the same mistake that we made back in March. And back in March, that mistake was justified because we didn't know how the virus spreads. Now, 6 months later, we know that 40% of the people spreading this virus are asymptomatic. And 50% of the people spreading this virus are spreading it before they develop symptoms. So having a symptom-guided approach to testing makes absolutely no sense because it's going to be really difficult to contain the virus. So I know you guys love my analogy, so I have a good one for this. It's sort of like fighting a fire with a blindfold on and you don't know where the flames are because you're not testing and looking. So it's impossible to fight that fire. And to be honest, you guys, it makes me wonder if we're trying to make the numbers look better before November.
I was wondering that too.
Great analogy. I get it. Can you break down how these changes impact everyday people? If our testing numbers change, will that impact how quickly we reopen places like college campuses?
It's going to have a huge impact on our everyday lives, Jeff. And you know, remember a few weeks ago, you and me and Tori were going to go to that hypothetical dinner. Yeah. We were all going to get tested before we went to have dinner.
We went.
Guess what? That dinner just got a...
I'm there.
You went without me?
No.
I thought you guys went without me.
No, me and you, Doc. Never mind. I was just trying to make Tori feel insecure. I succeeded, but now it's weird.
It's a win. It's a win.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Doctor.
So I'm just saying that our hypothetical dinner just got a whole lot less safer because we've taken away testing, which is such an important tool to get our lives back to normal more safely. And by taking away testing, we're going to do a number of things. One is we're going to make it much harder to track the disease, so that metrics like positivity become less relevant. Second, contact tracing is going to be much harder. So if you think about college campuses, that's a critical way because they're having those parties to figure out who's going to get infected. Third, identifying and containing outbreaks is going to be very challenging. This is very important for places like schools, where testing is really going to help guide, as well as sports teams. And then finally, the asymptomatic spread that's occurring in the community, it's just going to get out of hand again.
No more blindfold fighting that fire, people. Before we let you go, we want to make this clear for everyone at home. Would you, Dr. Kohli, recommend getting tested if you might have been exposed, even if you have zero symptoms?
100% yes. And in fact, I'm telling all my patients to keep doing what they were doing before. Many states have started now not taking the CDC guidance, and I would say we still need to do exposure testing, surveillance testing, and reassurance testing.
Dr. Kohli.
Not that it matters, but I'm giving you a round of applause over here. No one cares what I think, but I'm glad you said it because I think testing is so important. I can't believe this message that we're getting from the CDC. So thank you for being here, Doc.